Now let's talk a little bit more about working with the horizontal rows of clips or scenes. And these are a great way to start to organize different combinations of loops or combinations of sounds and eventually turning them into what could be different sections of an arrangement. So why don't we start by I'm going to work with these first five tracks that I had originally and these five clips, the drums, the percussion, the bass, the pad, the vocal. But why don't I extend the widths of my tracks just so I can kind of see the full name? Some of the names are cut off a little bit here. So I can extend the width of any of the tracks by moving my mouse over the edge of the track title where it says the name of the track on the top. And then I can click and drag to the left or right. I can also hold the Option or Alt key and click on the edge of one of my tracks and then extend all of them evenly. And I'm only working with these five different tracks right now, so we can make them a little bit wider and take up a bit more of the screen space here. I can do the same thing over here with the main track. I could just extend that out a little bit because we're going to start to use these scenes here and rename those as we start to build some ideas for different sections of our song. So I could, copy and paste clips to line them up onto a new scene. So let's say, for example, I got like this hi-hat and this vocal, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe that could work as an intro to a new song idea that I'm working on here. So I could just copy and paste those onto the next clip slot underneath and kind of line them up onto a new scene. So all the copy and paste commands that we've discussed before, so Command C or Control C for copy, Command or Control V for paste, Command or Control D for duplicate, all that stuff is going to work here with the clips in session view. So I could click on this hi-hat Dirty Doug thing and then click on it, press Command D, and then do the same thing with the vocal, Command D, and you see it just duplicates the clip right below it onto the next clip slot underneath. So now I could, play this scene, and I could rename the scene. Let's call it intro. And to rename it, I can right click and select rename, or I can press Command or Control R. And then we'll take the scene and we can move it up to the top. So we can reorder these scenes. We can kind of move them up and down wherever we want to. But if that's going to be the intro, let's put it up at the top. So let's kind of keep this idea going here. So I'll play my intro scene, and maybe we'll add the pad in next. So these 1, 2, 3 elements here, maybe this could be a verse. So I could create a new scene manually and then copy and paste this pad clip into that scene, or I can take all three of these clips that are currently playing on different scenes, right? And I can have Ableton Live just automatically create a new scene and then line them all up for me in that new scene. So to do that, I'm going to select my intro scene first, because the new scene that I create, it's going to automatically pop it in or create it underneath the scene that I have clicked on or selected. So we're going to select the intro scene. I'll just hit spacebar again just to play all three of those clips. And then I can go up to the Create menu here, and I can select Capture and Insert Scene, or I can use the key command Shift Command I or Shift Control I. And you can see now that's created a new scene. Let me stop the playback for a second. It's created a new scene. I'm going to rename it. Let's call it Verse A. And you can see it's copied and pasted the two clips that we're currently playing in the intro scene, but it's also copied and pasted this Limette F4, this pad clip into that scene as well. So now I can kind of keep going with this. So we'll add the verse. Maybe we'll bring in the drums, the main drums. Maybe this is going to be my verse B section. So I'm going to click back on the verse A scene. We'll do our capture and insert scene command here, and then I'll rename this verse B. So let's maybe stop a couple of clips. Let's maybe stop the drums and the hi-hat. Maybe we'll bring in the bass. So these three elements here, these sound cool together as perhaps a breakdown. So I'm going to click on my verse B scene, and then I'm going to use capture and insert scene, or remember, just Shift Command I. We can call this break or breakdown. And then maybe I'll bring the hi-hats back in. This could be like a breakdown part B sort of a thing. So I'll just use Shift Command I, rename breakdown B, and then finally we'll bring our drums in, our main drums. And then this will be kind of like my drop or my chorus. So I can do Shift Command I, and we can call this chorus drop. Just capitalize chorus, keep it nice and tidy here. So you can start to see how we can use the scenes to organize our ideas and get a sense of the different sections or the different phrases of what our arrangement could potentially be.